In beginning of the film, owner of a construction company John Matthews receives a call from his ex-wife Sylvie Collins. His separate son Jason is being charged for distribution of drugs. While Jason is not actually a dealer, his friend set him up in a sting operation to reduce his own sentence after being caught. Jason's charges for drugs carry a minimum of 10 years in prison. John feels responsible because he was not there for his son, and he becomes desperate as he thinks that Jason may be killed before he finishes his prison sentence. Using his contacts, John arranges few meetings with the local U.S. Attorney Joanne Keegan, who is running a very aggressive anti-drug campaign to bolster her chances for election to Congress. Joanne agrees to reduce Jason's sentence if John can inform on a drug dealer, but states that he'll receive not much help from her and that the risk will be all his. Agent Cooper leads a task force which will track any dealings John arranges to use as proof for an arrest. John searches through his agent records and finds an agent on his payroll with 2 former distribution convictions. Daniel James is currently leading a clean life to avoid a third strike. Now he has a wife and young son to care for. John offers $20,000 if Daniel will simply introduce him to a dealer. Daniel at first refuses but later agrees so that he can move to a safer apartment for his son, though he is uninformed that John is acting as an informant. Daniel introduces John to Malik, an extremely dangerous, local drug dealer, who like Daniel has 2 strikes. Explaining that his business cannot stay afloat in the current economy without a supplement to its revenues, John offers to run nearly limitless amounts of drugs at almost zero risk in his freight trucks. Due to being a legal business, the trucks avoid suspicion and carry too much freight to in-detail search. Malik agrees under the condition that John and Daniel drive the starting themselves. John and Agent Cooper arrange for various wiretaps to be put in place to catch the transactions involved. John drives to the pickup point near the Mexican border. In the process, a rival gang ambushes the pickup, but John manages a daring escape, impressing cartel kingpin Juan Carlos El Topo Pintura, whose cartel successfully fought off the ambushers. John successfully completes his end of the deal, delivering the drugs to Malik while under surveillance by Agent Cooper. Malik mentions a meeting with cartel members higher than himself. Cooper, hoping to catch the higher priority targets, refuses to arrest Malik during the deal. Keegan claims Cooper did the right thing and refuses to reduce Jason's sentence unless John cooperates in a second meeting. John, outraged, agrees only if Jason is released when the job is completed, rather than just a reduction in sentence. Around this time, Daniel finds out about the arrangement John made with the police and is furious, saying that the cartel will kill John, Daniel, and their families if the truth comes out. John and Daniel send their families into disguise. John meets with Juan Carlos Pintura under much higher cartel security than he has seen so far. Juan wants John to drive nearly $100 million in drug profits into Mexico, back to the cartel base of operations, and offers to make John a member of the cartel inner circle if he succeeds. John reports this back to Keegan and Cooper. Keegan is overjoyed due to finding such a large target, but Cooper has a change of heart and tries to talk John out of doing the drive, as he suspects the cartel will kill him afterwards. John devises a plan to free himself and Daniel from both the government and the cartel. During the drive, John is able to escape Cooper's surveillance. At the same time, Daniel raids Malik's house, killing Malik's guards and wounding Malik. Before dying, Malik reveals Juan Carlos's cell phone number to Daniel. John calls Cooper and has him track both his new cell phone and Juan Carlos's phone, effectively giving Cooper both the money and the kingpin at once. After a highway chase and shootout, caused by the cartel's realization that John is an informant, John escapes. Cartel members and the money are seized by Cooper's men. Juan Carlos is also captured. He is unwilling to get into a shootout with the police, as his young son is with him. The movie ends with Jason being released the next day. John and his family go into the witness protection program. Daniel refuses to go into the program, saying he and his family will go into disguise on their own. As Daniel has lost his job, John leaves Daniel the large reward check that John was supposed to receive for the capture of Juan Carlos. The film concludes by citing statistics which show that certain first-time nonviolent drug offenders receive longer prison sentences on average than those convicted of rape or murder.